then has produced the likes of Mateen Cleaves and Eric Snow. And again, I think his importance for Michigan State next year is to free up Drew Neitzel a little bit from that basketball in his hands the entire 40 minutes of a ball game. Let Neitzel really score. Neitzel was a scoring point guard in high school anyways. They need his points.
Ahead of the pack, Durrell Summers can't get it. Rebound brought down by Wright. And Lucas steals it away. We told you about his quickness. Bayless. Lucas again, the offensive rebound. Finally cleared by Singler. Corey Fisher with the dribble. Villanova recruit can't get it. Gordon, the offensive rebound, and the finish. Aaron Gordon again, guys, that great body of his, using it to his advantage.
This is a tough team to match up with. When you look at the gold and black team right now, multiple playmakers on the floor as we see Gordon down low. Good hands like vice grips, and the finish in traffic. Chance to get the old-fashioned three-point play.
Good soft pause out of a guy that's 6'4" and 210. He will really absorb what Kelvin Sampson stands for, the toughness, to play every possession like it's your last mentality. I think Eric Gordon brings that. I love his body. He has a college-ready body right now as a senior in high school. There he is defensively. Just a one-man half-court press right now. And he gets away from Bayless. Little soft pause right there defensively I'm talking about.
With the vice grip strength.
Yes. Rare combination, and Kelvin Sampson has to love defensively, if nothing else, what he's going to get out of Eric Gordon next year. Terrific.
Timeout on the floor. Madison Square Garden. Well, this has lived up to expectations. A lot of highlights early in the 2007 Jordan Brand All-American Classic.
2 seconds to capture your attention.
The yellow team on top of the blue by 8, 7:42 remaining in the first half of the 2007 Jordan Brand All-American Classic here at MSG. Well, Heather Cox is standing by with a happy father. John Lucas is in the house. And Heather, what do you have?
Yeah, Cool Hand Luke joining me right now. And John, are you watching this as a player, as a coach, as a dad, or a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. You know, I don't like our second team combination because they're so big, but they're going to really be good, and it's a lot of good talent out here.
And your son Jay, one of the top few prospects that actually hasn't decided which college he's going to attend. What type of advantage does that have?
Well, you know, it's worked out for him because all the schools he was looking at has had a lot of movement in it. So it was good the way in his case, and he's got to find the right situation because he's a 5'10" point guard that's got to play up and down.
And he told us this morning he's going to make that decision by Friday, so it should be a big week for the Lucas family.
He did?
News to
news to me.
You got to help him out, Dad. By Friday, he wants to decide.
All right, thank you. Good to see you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, he told Heather and I today at the shoot-around that it's Florida, Maryland, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and Kentucky. It's those 5, and he didn't share with us in what order. I think he kind of has an idea where he's leaning right now, but his father's dead on. Because of his size at 5'10" and about 155 pounds, he's got to play in an up-tempo system to be successful, in my opinion.
There's not a lemon in that group. You can go along with any of those schools.
Not at all.
Here's Jeffrey Jordan getting the ball over to Kalen Lucas. Great feed. That's a little glimpse of the future of Michigan State. Durrell Summers from the feed from Kalen Lucas. The other way, Chris Wright. That's the first dunk he's missed today. He's knocked down a couple others.
Think about that Michigan State squad next year, Lav. You're in that Big Ten a lot. But you had Kalen Lucas and Durrell Summers to Michigan State, who they had basically everybody back from a team that had a first-round win over Marquette, got knocked out in the second round in North Carolina. But Tom Izzo now starting to rebuild that Spartan program back toward that Elite 8 level type stuff, you know.
Lucas and Summers, the depth, the quickness to play along with Drew Neitzel, can stretch defenses, and we've already seen here with Lucas the ability to put the ball on the deck and improvise and then read and recognize and make the right decision. That's so critical, and it'll take some of the pressure off of Neitzel with him not having the ball in his hands much.
Lucas strokes a pair.
The one thing you don't know about those two kids from not being around them for a month, which sometimes I think it takes, is how tough they are. Because if you're not tough, you're not going to last long under Tom Izzo, and I'm pretty sure he read that in recruiting.
Pretty good move. Corey Fisher, kid out of the Bronx, off to Villanova next year.
We can see why the scouts are so high on Fisher. He's going to fit into Jay Wright's system at Villanova extremely well.
Summers, Johnny on the spot, gets the ball back and knocks it in.
Well, the other thing Tom Izzo has done, Summers going to Michigan State, is he's already locked up one of the top 10 players for in this year's junior class, a kid named Delvin Rowe out of Lakewood, Ohio. So Tom Izzo starting to stockpile guys for next year already as well.
How about Singler along the baseline? The feel there to gather himself, a little jump stop, and then come back with a little baby hook.
Singler now with 9 points to lead both sides.
And Eric, again, I go back to the toughness that Singler is going to bring to that Duke program. They're going to lose Josh McRoberts, and Singler's going to step in. I think bring a mentality to that Coach K squad that they maybe have lacked a little bit.
Derrick Rose to Chris Wright, and Wright finishes at the rim again.
I think if McRoberts would have stayed and not chosen to go to the NBA, the Duke would have been a top 5 team in the country. When you add Singler, Nolan Smith.
Close is fouled, and it'll go to the free throw line.
And if McRoberts would have returned, I think Duke's a top 5 team. I think now they're still very solid, very competitive. Obviously a Hall of Fame coach in Mike Krzyzewski, but we see Singler here face up, nice drive there with the left hand, able to gather and then come back. Use the glass, just a nice sense for the game, a feel of where he is on the floor, which is so important.
And you know what else? Singler has that haircut that the entire ACC is going to love to hate for the next 4 years. He'll be the next guy at Duke that the entire ACC will love to hate, and that's a compliment. It goes from J.J. Redick to a guy like Singler.
Look at the range of Eric Gordon.
He starts draining shots.
What a pass.
Quick transition D. Great pass by Wright.
Chandler Parsons finishes strong with 2 hands at the rim.
Parsons showing the verts. Open court ability. That's important. You're going to play at Florida. You got to be able to run nice look inside.
Fisher again finds the open man, and Chris Wright doing work at the rim. He's now got 8 points. Parsons again, 2 consecutive buckets for him.
Well, we got the pivot pass, tear fanny attack here. Both teams playing brother-in-law defense. Got to do a better job of getting back with a sense of urgency to stop the ball, but good for the spectators. Up tempo.
Numbers for the blue team. Shot no good, and Derrick Rose, 4-on-1, stops that break. This time a little bit too fancy. Pass off the mark, intended for Wright. Good pass, Kalathis finishes.
Now the game has gotten really loose, just like a lot of all-star games get. You know, 14, 15 minutes into it.
Little cherry pick. Organization starts to break down some.
7 points now for Corey Fisher. Donte Greene back into the game, and he is fouled on his way to the dish.
A couple of possessions ago. See, they bring this basketball up. A terrific job by Chris Wright going to Villanova to get that ball to Chandler Parsons. And again, Lav, you talked about if you're going to Florida, you have to have the ability to not only play in the half court, but to run the floor and catch that basketball run at full speed and finish like Parsons did. What I don't like about Parsons right now going to Florida, he's 6'9" and barely at 200 pounds.
Well, he's going to have to put on some strength, there's no doubt. And I think that's one of the big adjustments when you make the jump from high school to college is the physicality of the game in every practice and every game.
Well, the NBA playoffs on ABC continues tomorrow on Sunday as the Lakers take on the Phoenix Suns in Game 1 of their first-round series. The NBA playoffs first round on ABC Sunday at 2:30 Eastern Time, available in high definition on ABC HD.
Let me follow up what you just talked about before that promo. How kids respond every day in practice when they're pushed, when every possession is magnified. And I know you were on the recruiting trail more recently than I was on the college level, but to me, I think that's still the one most difficult thing to judge is how much a kid really loves the game and does he really want to put the time in to be the elite guy.
Yeah, good follow-up there by Griffin cleaning up the garbage, but I'd agree, the mindset, hard to always have the indicators coming out of high school, and you get a better feel for that once they start practicing on the college campus as a freshman. Also, how they're going to adapt and adjust to coaches who will be brutally honest about their vulnerabilities, about their deficiencies as a player, and are they willing to